All right, I'm the Flat Rate Master, and today we're talking about, well, shop stealing from you. I know clickbait title and subject of video, but let's talk about, well, shops doing various things that aren't ethical, or they may not even think about it. The first one we're going to talk about is, as a technician, you pull in a car, you look at it, you write it up for what it needs, hopefully honestly, and the customer declines, leaves, and then weeks or months or days comes back for that recommendation. You wrote it up for brakes, you wrote it up for valve cover reseal, whatever, and it comes back and it goes to the guy over there. That is a problem, especially for flat rate technicians, especially when you're not paid any sort of inspection fee, which sucks. But the point of that is one, if you see all your previous recs going to one technician in the shop, well, you figured out there's favoritism going on. And I hate that. It drives me nuts when you see favoritism. I do my best in this shop when I assign tickets to check previous history of the vehicle, and our policy is the technician has worked on it before, it goes back to that technician whether they're here for a previous recommendation or just, oil change or whatever. The reason for that is, well, let's say technician A wrote up, that valve cover reseal. It came back for an oil change, but they didn't mention anything about wanting to do the valve cover. Well, he can look at it and go re-recommend it and maybe get the sale and get that repair. Whereas if it goes to technician B, he's going to go, I'm going to write it up for that valve cover that, He may not even know the previous technician wrote it up for a valve cover. He just is going to write it up for a leaking valve cover. And that system is taking money out of that technician's pocket. And it's wrong. And some of the issue is a lot of shops don't realize that. They don't even think about it. It's not something they comprehend. I've worked in many shops where that was a serious problem, where a technician wasn't getting his previous recs. In fact, when I first started as shop foreman, I kind of did that a little bit, and I was quickly pointed out to me, and I quickly fixed it as far as actually not looking at history of vehicles and their previous recs and all that. So if you've got that favoritism situation going on in the shop, chances are, well, you're not going to fix it. As much as I'd like to say you can go up and do this and do this, chances are, unless management changes, that situation's not going to change. All you can do is go, hey, boss, that was my previous rec. I should have gotten it. Why didn't I get it back? That's something you have to contemplate on whether or not it's a shop for you, if they're not taking care of you as a technician. All right, next one we're going to talk about is the monkey in the room. That's stealing hours. If you've never worked in a shop that steals hours from you, and this applies to whether you're a flat rate technician or just a hourly tech. Why? Because your numbers matter as an hourly tech. If you're not producing enough hours, some shady service writers who generally are paid either on overall profit or parts profit or some combination thereof for their bonus program, well, they can shift money from labor over to parts. You see the problem? As an hourly technician, it makes you look bad. Oh, that job only paid 2 hours and it took him 3. No, it paid 4 and it took him 3, but the boss that doesn't look at what the job pays, he just looks at what the computer screen says, and he's like, oh, well, I'm losing money on that guy. We got to get rid of him. It can happen. Flat rate guys, obviously, well, it's money out of your pocket. If you don't write it down, you may not realize you're losing hours from that kind of stuff or other things. You know, them trying to make the deal and, you know, get the sale, so they cut labor. Always do. In your mind, you know, let's say in your mind you build, you know, just not documenting it, but you just, you know, in your mind you build 46 hours. You know, oh, that job pays that job pays that. I build 46 hours and you get your check and you're at, you know, 39. Sometimes your memory isn't accurate. So realistically, if you're concerned about your hours, and regardless, you probably should do this anyway, is every ticket you get, you should have some sort of file, either on your computer, on your phone, or just a piece of paper. Write down the RO number and the hours billed. The reason you want an RO number is so you can track it. You want the hours billed, well, obviously, for what you're getting paid, and you definitely want to keep a constant tally of that. Why? So you make sure you get paid right. You know, so if you have any of that stuff going on, you can catch it. You know, the boss man may not realize that the guys up front are manipulating the money like that. Trust me, you know, not all salesmen are honest. Most are, but some are not. So if you're concerned, or really in most situations, you should, well, document. Just like car repair, you should document what your hours are. You should write them down. Write down and then tally at the end of the week. And if you see a pattern of you not getting paid what you wrote up, well then a come to Jesus meeting needs to happen, because, well, they are literally taking money out of your pocket. And they need to explain why you're getting shorted. Now, is this a common issue? Maybe. I've only seen it a couple times, and sometimes it's, you know, you get shorted on your paycheck. Well, that car didn't get picked up, or, you know, there was another issue or something like that. But it does happen. Legitimately not a, you know, shop trying to screw you. There was just a situation that you didn't get paid on that job because of XYZ. But you do have to remember that your paycheck can be very much affected by somebody else, well, screwing with the numbers. You know, when your paycheck is based on hours and somebody else's paycheck is based on something else, you need to watch it. Now, in this shop, all of us have access to everybody's hours. There's no smoke and mirrors, because all you got to do is go to the computer and pull up a report. You can tell you how many hours you billed. You can pull up a detailed report and see all the tickets you did and, well, see if you're getting screwed. Obviously, we don't get screwed here because, you know, people are honest and they want us making money too. But if that's a concern for you, definitely keep an eye on it. You know, you'd be surprised. Just simple things like, oh, well, yeah, I gave that customer the XYZ job because, you know, I was trying to make the sale, or I was trying to, you know, oh, well, I wanted to help the customer out, so you did those bulbs for free. Stuff like that. Well, as a flat rate technician, no. You discount it to zero, you take the loss, not me. Something to just be aware of. You know, and I'm going to point this out just for the hourly guys that are screaming, oh, well, flat rate sucks and yada, yada, yada. It can happen to you too. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.